loves! So today I have an advice video for you, and this one has been a long time coming because I have been in a sorority for a few years now, and really this is just going to be a couple tips and just like tricks and ways to survive recruitment. These are really just things that I wish I would have known when I was going through the process and will really just kind of help make your life easier while you're going through recruitment and help you to really find the home that is best for you. So if you're thinking about going through recruitment, definitely sign up and go for it because it's such an awesome experience. And even if you end up figuring out that a sorority isn't right for you, you still will meet so many awesome people on campus. So it really isn't a bad experience to go through no matter what you end up doing. Hopefully I address any questions that you may have, but if you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer about Greek life, being in a sorority, anything like that, make sure to leave them down below and I'll be more than happy to get back to you. So I have my little tips listed here on my phone, and the first one is in all caps because it is so important. If there's one thing you got from this video, please take this, and that is be yourself. I know, so cheesy, it's like what your mom tells you from day one, but seriously, when you are going through this whole process, you know, it's really nerve-wracking. You're meeting so many new people and there's so much going on, but it's really important to remember to stay true to yourself and really kind of share as much of your personality and everything with the girls that you're talking to, because that's going to help you connect with the right people and help them connect you with the right sorority. You'll kind of just know. And I'm going to talk more about that a little later in this video, but it's really important to be yourself because then you're going to click with the people who are kind of more similar to you and that you're going to really get along with really well. I know that every time I went into the room of my sorority during recruitment, I really just clicked with girls and I was so comfortable and I knew that it was right for me, but you're not going to find that feeling and find the right place for yourself if you're not being yourself. The next little tip that I have is remember that you are not the only one who's nervous. Honestly, sisters are probably more nervous to meet you than you are to meet them because they're so excited to meet new people and find perfect girls for their chapter. I remember the first time that I went through recruitment on the other side as a sister and I was freaking out, but you know, just take a deep breath and have a conversation, and it's really not that big of a deal once you get into it. This one is huge. You want to make sure that you keep an open mind throughout your entire recruitment process. I know that I went in thinking I was going to join a certain sorority. I was like already in love with them, had done so much research, and it ended up not at all being the right fit for me. I ended up not being invited back the second day, and I was crushed for a little while. But once I really kind of just let that go and like decided, you know, like these other sororities invited me back, like my good fit is probably in here somewhere. The whole time that I went through recruitment, I was always so comfortable when I was in Alpha Xi Delta's room. And of course that is the sorority that I ended up joining. What it comes down to is I didn't even know anything about Alpha Xi Delta before I joined. I just kind of knew about the ones that had been more kind of prominent, I guess, when I had walked around campus for tours and stuff, and I just never had really heard anything about Alpha Xi Delta. But it ended up being the perfect fit for me and one of the best decisions that I made in college. So I think it's really important to not be too set on just like, okay, I'm joining this chapter, like this is it, and like I don't want to even talk to the other people, because you could end up missing out on the chapter that is actually the best fit for you. And another little part of that tip that I just kind of want to elaborate on is to make sure to trust the system. I know that it's really overwhelming when you're going through recruitment because, you know, there's just so much going on around you and you're going from room to room, and like, you know, it gets really hard, especially if you feel like you really connected with a chapter and then you don't end up getting invited back the next day. It can be really hard, but I promise you this system, as weird as it is, really does work and you will find the chapter that you are meant to join. This one is another important one. I feel like I'm saying these are all important, but I promise these tips are going to help you to get through recruitment that much easier. And this one is follow your heart when you're making decisions. So after each round of recruitment, and it's going to be a certain number of rounds depending on your college. At my college we had 3 rounds, but we're also kind of a smaller school sorority-wise. We have 7 chapters, and I mean that is a lot of chapters, but there are some schools that have like 12 chapters, so that's a whole different process. It's like over a week long, and like I can't really tell you too much about that because that wasn't my personal experience. It does get harder with each round because you're kind of ranking chapters on which ones you think are the best fit for yourself, where you really connected with girls and everything like that. But you really want to follow your heart when you're making those kind of decisions because it's really going to help you find the best fit for yourself. And I mean, it's so hard to explain until you're in that moment. For me personally, preference night, I had a really hard time. I wasn't completely sure who I wanted to put down for my number one. I talked to my Rho Gamma, sometimes they're called Gamma Chis, but they're recruitment counselors, and that is a big tip. If you are kind of struggling with anything throughout the process, make sure to talk to them because they're there to help you to go through the whole process and to really find the home that fits you best. So basically just follow your gut decision and like what you really feel most comfortable with, because I know for me, I was really debating, but I think the whole time I knew that AZD would be the best fit for me, and then when I got my bid the next day, I was so excited and I've never looked back or regretted that decision. Now on to more functional tips. The first one is wear comfortable shoes. And I can't tell you how important this is and how much it will save your life, because especially the first couple nights of recruitment, you're standing on your feet talking for hours, and it's just like, if you have shoes that are going to give you blisters or, you know, are just like going to put pressure on your feet, then you're going to be really sad, and it's going to take away from the conversations you're having because you're going to be thinking about how much your feet hurt. It'll just really make the process so much easier on yourself, and your feet won't hurt the next day if you wear comfortable shoes. My last tip for anyone going through sorority recruitment is to make sure to plan ahead, and there's kind of a couple different things that you really should focus on. One, you want to try to plan your outfits ahead because it will make things so much easier for you, because recruitment, I'm not gonna lie, is exhausting. And so if you already have your outfit planned for the next day, you can just kind of crash after you get back, and you won't really have to think about it or be panicking before, you know, as you're getting ready. You already know what your outfit is and you just have to, you know, get your hair and makeup done and everything. You also want to make sure that you're planning ahead with work and any like homework assignments you might have for school. Of course, you want to make sure that you have all of the time that you need off of work, because if you miss a day of recruitment, it depends on your school, but you may not even be able to finish the process. And even if you are, you're really going to miss out on a lot of important conversations that will help you to make the decision in which sorority you'd like to join. And also, you really don't want to be staying up late after a long night of recruitment doing homework. So if you get it all done ahead of time, you will be much happier, I promise. So I think the most important message that I can give you guys about going through sorority recruitment is just have fun with it and don't take anything too seriously. These girls are really excited to get to know you in every single chapter. Even though it's a stressful process, you will find the chapter that is right for you, and I promise you it's going to be so amazing. Going Greek was one of the absolute best things I did in college, both with my sorority and my professional fraternity. I loved both so much. I really do think that joining a sorority opened so many doors for me in college, and it just helped me grow so much as a person. So I'm so excited that those of you watching this video are considering going through recruitment, and I hope that you do go ahead and do that because it's so much fun and just such an awesome experience. Alright, and that's about all I had to say in this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure to subscribe. It's somewhere right down there, and I post videos pretty often, so that way you can keep up to date with everything that I post on my channel. If you have any other questions about sororities or Greek life or anything that I didn't answer in this video, make sure to leave them down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!